What's going on, guys? It's Jedi Joey. Sorry we're doing this a few days late, but I just finished The Boys Season 4 premiere, which means, guys, when it comes to Amazon Prime and The Boys, they usually like to release multiple episodes at once, so you get more of a, not necessarily a full binging experience because the whole season isn't out, but you get more to talk about. There's more meat and potatoes to really build into. And so, if you guys don't know, if you haven't watched my content before and this is your first time on the channel, I'm a huge fan of this show. The idea of how The Boys handles superpowered characters with rated R, ludicrous stuff, just amazing, amazing rated R content and great storytelling. And I love how they're a parody of everything that happens. So for the first segment of this, we're going to talk about the non-spoiler stuff, but then we're going to get into some of the spoilers. But so starting off, now, I've seen a lot of people talk about this season and say so far about the first couple episodes that they didn't think that they're not hooked by these first 3 episodes yet. I've seen a lot of critics say that. I have to say, like Tony Stark says, I respectfully disagree. You know, he says, I prefer the only weapon I have to fire once. And here, I prefer the choice that I'm enjoying the hell out of this shit. And guys, listen, I know I've talked about a lot of my content is normally falling under that, and most of my videos go under the 18 and over. This one is going to be like, you know, like the American Pie song, X-rated, because you know, that's where we're headed here. So let's talk about the really big positives here. Now, we pick up immediately in Season 3 with Butcher finding out that he has 6 months to live after he literally went crazy with the V and went to try battle Homelander in a superhero gladiator match. So that was kind of a whole thing. So there's stakes have never been higher from this situation. We have the Starlighter riots connecting with Homelander's viewership. And Homelander, they ended last season with Homelander murdering someone in front of everyone in the crowd that was protesting him. And now a lot of people are calling him a murderer. There's a lot of stunts going on. A lot of people are like, oh, this guy's actually bad. And whatever. And Ryan even is hesitant of him. And now Ryan is with the Homelander instead of Butcher. And from the get-go of the first episode, you see that happen. You see Ryan kind of hesitant and wants nothing to do with Butcher. Butcher tells him that he's only got 6 months to live. And now Ryan kind of throughout the course of these episodes feels bad. We introduced 2 new members from the 7, which were introduced through the trailers. We have Sister Sage, which refers to herself as the smartest person in the world. And we're going to talk about her in kind of the mixed aspect of this, because I do have some mixed thoughts on how I feel about the whole situation. So one thing I'll say about this whole thing is you have her, and then you have Firecracker. And one of the things I also noticed that there's not necessarily a criticism, but I've seen people talk about, is that Mother's Milk, which I still think is a hilarious name, is some people thought they recast him because he doesn't have his beard anymore. He looks all clean shaven, but now he's the CEO. He's, you know, working for the CIA. And in episode 1, from the get-go, they give us Jeffrey Dean Morgan, which is great. And I love how this character fits into the story. I think they're doing a great job. So episode 1 really just kind of sets up the foundation. We see how things have gone from bad to worse. It kind of just builds up what it needs to. We have this amazing moment where Homelander's talking to Sister Sage, but he's dressed like Clark Kent from Smallville. So that's pretty great. I'm loving the Smallville vibe. And when you talk about The Boys, look, there are a lot of amazing actors and performers in this show. You can't talk about The Boys without talking about, and part of my language, guys, because we're getting into, this is the part of the video where I have waited, we're longer than 15 minutes now. So what I will say is, now we're past that mark, we're 4 minutes into this video. I can say, guys, we got to talk about Anthony. I'm not going to swear. I'm going to keep this much more. I'm trying to keep it clean, but still respectful. So, look, here's what's going to go on. Anthony freaking Starr, man. We got to talk about Anthony freaking Starr, okay? And this is what we got to talk about. This is not the Star-Spangled Man with the plan. This is not Captain America. This is our boy, Homelander. And we got Homelander in of course, the likes of, what's it called? We got Homelander in Mortal Kombat. So that just happened a week ago. So we're enjoying that. But Homelander, you know, comes into this season out the gate, immediately trying to literally quote unquote swing his dick around, because he is literally trying to completely show his power and make it raw, and you feel the power, you feel that he's coming out the 7. He's bored with his team. He doesn't feel challenged. He doesn't feel like he's got a worthy foe. He's trying to figure out what to do, and clearly he's going through some struggles, which we'll get into in the later episodes. But the first episode really sees him test his team and shows the lengths that he's willing to go through, and it's incredible. So episode 1 sets up the foundation with Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Billy Butcher. We find out about Huey's mom and all that stuff, and that's really great. It really leads to some great story potential. Sister Sage starts making her move, and I'm going to give episode 1 a 9.3 out of 10. It's a solid first return episode. I liked it a lot. Now, let's head into my episode 2 review, okay? So, we continue forward. We're still dealing with the riots and stuff, and Star's trying to figure out what to do. We got some great backstory with A-Train. A-Train, this is where we're getting into spoiler territory, guys. A-Train gets visited by one of the best cameos in the history of this show. So, spoilers coming in 3, 2, 1. Freaking Will Ferrell is playing the parody version of his coach, and it was funny because when I first saw him, I was like, you guys remember when we saw Will Ferrell in Barbie? He looked like John Kreese. At first, until I heard his voice, I was like, wait, is John Kreese in The Boys? What's going on? Because I always joke about that after seeing Barbie. I even told Ella this, that I think Will Ferrell would actually make a good John Kreese if they ever had to recast him, because he's getting older up there. But, so we see him, plays a great role, gets some comedy here, but also plays a more deeper, serious role here. And I really liked how they did that. Episode 2 is jam-packed. There was great action. They went crazy with all the nonsense. Also, other big celebrity cameo news for you: the octopus that the Deep is trying to have a relationship with is voiced by Tilda Swinton from the MCU. So that's pretty cool. The Ancient One voicing this octopus. I think that's a pretty cool deep cut. Funny, get it? We're talking about the Deep, and we're talking deep cuts. So there's a funny moment. So you get these great parody moments. You see the team struggling without Butcher, and then we go up to Firecracker. Sister Sage makes a plan. We see they fire Ashley and make her more of a mascot, because the 7 is fully taking over. Also, something we didn't talk about in episode 1 is there's a new Black Noir. And guys, this Black Noir is fucking hilarious. Okay, I got to talk. Now we're getting closer to that. I got to kind of get a little bit less PG-13, because I do make adult content, and this is an adult show. So in order for you guys to get the point, I got to be a tiny bit adult. Now, one thing I will say is, guys, this guy is hilarious. He's a mixture of Deadpool and Vigilante, and I loved it. I thought this episode was perfect. It was perfect, right down to the last minute detail.
And I got to tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
And I'm going to say the same thing about episode 3, but for different reasons. So, overall, this was such a solid episode. I really enjoyed it. I love the action. It was bloody. This season was bloodier than the previous one so far. I'm loving where it's going. I'm loving the storytelling. I'm loving what they're doing with Frenchie. I'm loving how this show is showing proper representation, and it's doing it in a better way than the Crapulite, which I love. And I think this is just amazing. And they're further developing Homelander. You're seeing him struggle, seeing him conflicts with Ryan. And then we head into episode 3, and we have Vought on ice. And so I'd say I think I said episode 2 was a 9.4 out of 10, which is pretty solid. Then we got episode 3. So we got dealing with the ice capades, the whole Vought on ice thing, more conversations with Huey and his mother. It's getting more deeper, more personal. It's really interesting. The Deep standing up against Ashley was awesome, saying that he's the Deep, and I love how this works out. I love seeing Noir act the way he is in these commercials. I love what the development, the young actor they got for teenage Ryan, or preteen since he's 12, is great. I'm loving the age up change. There's a moment in this, there's a reference in this episode. We get to see Vought has their own Mortal Kombat / Injustice, and it's great to see that. I love how they're developing Anthony Starr. This man literally, Homelander literally has a scene in this episode towards the very end where he basically channels his inner Willem Dafoe and proves that he could easily be the new Norman Osborn in the MCU. It's so good. This episode was so good. I loved it. I thought it was great. My only negative, now we get into mixed aspect. The only mixed aspect I have of this episode is I'm very confused on how they're using the word smartest person in the world. Is like, so there's TV smartest person in the world, and then there's like that word intelligence needs to be treated in a way that makes sense. So I hope they don't go too crazy with it and they make it seem like she's not dumb and gets trapped and stuff. I hope they make it seem like she's very intelligent and shows her intelligence in a way that makes sense. But overall, I'm loving this season so far. These first 2 episodes were phenomenal. Some of my best stories I've seen so far. I love all the characters. I love the conversations between Billy and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Loving it all. Going to give this one a 9.5 out of 10, my highest score. Really excited for episode 4. If you guys enjoyed my review, make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next video. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Woo!